What is up, everybody, and welcome once again to the Unrelated Sports Podcast. I'm Andy McConnell. You know the drill. With me, as always, my friend, Mr. Cody Allstat. Cody, how we doing?
We're doing good. Just got my son to sleep, I think. So
Okay,
we're
well, that's
we're ready to roll. He might
good
make
job.
a surprise appearance. I don't know.
Good job, Daddy. I'm proud of you.
Okay, you only call me daddy at work. I don't know. That's weird now.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. God, damn it. Sorry for
Now
bringing work stuff home. I'm sorry.
now everybody
That's
knows
a no-no.
knows about
Yeah,
our little fling.
yeah. Damn it. So aside from that, how was your Easter weekend, sir?
It was good. I ate way too much food like I do every holiday. Helped kids get candy and ate a lot of the candy. I mean, played some
Okay,
cards.
nice.
Um,
Did you win at said cards?
no, I never
Oh,
win at my family cards. I
oh,
never
okay.
get last. Usually my wife gets last. I
So what do you guys play?
uh few different games. It's a specific card game called Five Crowns.
Okay.
It's a fun, really fun game. It's a lot like oh oh god, I can't remember the name of the game. You have you do first hand you have three cards, second hand you have four cards, five, six, seven, eight, and you have to be able to discard all your cards. It's a lot of
Okay.
fun. Big.
Okay.
We play sevens, which
Okay.
is another game that I didn't hear of until there. And then this year played a game called Sweep.
Okay. Never heard of that one either.
I had never heard of any of them, but they're all a lot of fun.
Okay.
Five Crowns, like the my family plays a lot of. Like my grandma had wore out decks of cards of those.
Okay. That sounds like us with euchre. I mean,
Yeah,
that's like, yeah. And then that's where then decks end up in the fire pit or end up in the garbage after they were deemed to be bad luck.
we don't have bad luck.
Okay.
We're not a stitious family like yours.
Oh, trust me, we're very stitious. I'll get into that a little bit later. But uh, also, so did your kids do any like Easter egg hunt or anything like that?
Oh yeah, we did some Easter egg hunting. One of my nieces actually they placed a egg in a tree and it fell down into the hole that
Oh,
and my niece was brave enough to stick her hand down. Like as a kid, I'd have never done that.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't have either.
I
Holy shoot.
I tried to as an adult, but my hand was too big. But her little hand could reach down there. So
Now,
candy is a big draw though.
yeah. Now, most important question. This might be a two-parter, pen. But did Aiden or Abby push people out of the way to get eggs?
No, they did not, which is
Damn it!
sad.
I'm disappointed.
I'm actually it was really funny because they Aiden's young, he's two. There's there's a 3 or 4 year old also there, and like 6 and 7, kind of the age range, and like a 10-year old. So they have some that are hidden really easy, some that are really hard to get.
Yep.
And Aiden, we'd have like 5 or 6 on the ground, and he wouldn't grab them all. He would pick specific ones. Like, nope, I don't want that one. I want that one. Like there'd be two next to each other. Wouldn't grab them both. He'd just pick which one he wanted.
Did one of them have
I'd
like
pick up some of them.
Did the secret one have cash, or did it just have the better candy in it?
We did not have any cash ones,
Okay. Okay. Maybe it just had the better candy in it.
but they were egg. He doesn't know what they're in them.
Oh. Hey, maybe he does. You never know. Maybe
Yeah,
he's a smart
maybe
kid. He could be a smart kid. You never know.
he. I mean, he is a smart kid. He's
Yeah. Okay. Bless you.
Courtney's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not mine.
Yeah. She definitely wouldn't. He wouldn't definitely get the brains from you. I think
Oh
we know
hell
that.
no, hell
I
no.
think. I think we know that.
See, I want your mom to hear that so she knows that you're mean too.
I'm just stating facts. As my dad likes to say, I am just stating facts.
Stating.
Yeah.
How
So.
about yours? Did you do anything Easter?
We just went over to my grandma's. Ate too much food. Ate way too
I'm
much
guessing
food.
you had 15 pounds of mashed potatoes and nothing else.
No, I had ham and dessert and like couple pieces of bread. Actually, 2 pieces of dessert because it was Ashton's birthday on Easter Sunday as well. So I had to have
Oh,
another
yeah,
cake.
21st, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So he's legal.
Nice.
At least that kind of legal. Yeah. So yeah, so that was fun. Then watched plenty of basketball over the weekend. Watched a little racing on Sunday night from Richmond, which was interesting. The only part I will say about this, because there wasn't a lot to talk about for the Richmond race, because Richmond sucks as a NASCAR track now, but they did start kind of in the rain. The race
Oh,
did, like where the track wasn't totally dry, so they ran on like these rain slash wet weather tires for like 30, 40 laps. So
did
that's
not
kind of
know they
interesting.
did that.
Oh, they haven't started doing that, or they started doing that maybe just about a year or two ago. So that was kind of interesting. And then there was a late caution, and then Denny Hamlin ended up stealing the victory and won me $42. So
Awesome.
yeah, so
Now, when you say stole the victory, what do you mean?
so Martin Truex Jr., Denny's teammate, led about like 250 laps of a 400 lap race, and there was a late caution where Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson collided, and then Denny's crew beat Truex's crew off of pit road. So Denny got the lead on the final restart of the race and was able to hold off the pack for 2 laps.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, he for all intents and purposes he stole that race. He should not have won. I mean, Truex was going to win that race because he was ahead by like maybe 3 seconds at the time of caution,
Oh,
and
wow.
they weren't gonna catch him at all. So yeah, that was Sunday, and then Monday there was a little basketball game on. I don't know. Apparently, like only 12.3 million people watched between.
I don't know if I heard anything about that. Was it
Yeah,
important in the state of Iowa?
yeah. I mean, it might have been. There's some person named Caitlin. I don't know. Have we talked about her at all?
I think I've heard her name.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Clark. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. She's kind of good
Uh,
at the game of basketball.
I was talking to my in-laws. They were driving back from their in-laws actually, or their parents and in-laws, and they were trying to rush back to get to see the game, and they missed a little bit of it. But they said that the roads were the deadest they've ever seen them in Iowa. Like just, I mean, like the grocery stores dead, everything dead. Like town was dead, everything. In
Yeah.
Iowa, there was nobody out.
Yeah. Yeah. This basketball team has been a big draw for, especially for the last like couple of years, and
Yeah.
especially for what happened last year between Iowa and LSU in the national title game. You have all the stuff with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. You have Kim Mulkey and all her evilness. Um, and yeah, my gosh, what a storyline going into a
Yeah.
game. And there's not many times where a basketball game or any sport event lives up to the hype, and especially the insane amount of hype that was given to this game. And
I
when the
mean,
first
just look
quarter,
at the people
yeah,
that were there. Just look at the
I
amount
know,
of people. I mean, like, yeah, Ted Lasso was in the building,
I know, little JC
and he
James.
even did the finger wave, like the hand
I,
wave.
I know that you can't see me. I know that.
Yeah,
I don't. That was hilarious. Yeah, he's a big supporter of women's basketball. I think he actually has been even before uh, these last
Caitlin.
couple of years. Yeah, but yeah, what a game! I mean, when the score at the end of the first quarter, I think was 35-30. It
Yeah.
was holy shoot! It was high octane basketball from the get go, and then Iowa took the lead in the second quarter. Caitlin started hitting some shots, and then her passing is. I'm curious. I want to see her on like the whole Drew Brees accuracy like test where
Oh
Brees would
yeah.
throw at a target or whatever, and he'd basically hit the bullseye every time. I
Yep.
want to see her try that because I
Right.
think she would come really close to doing that.
The the passes, like they're just so crazy accurate.
Well, and the thing is, her, and kind of rightfully so, her 3-point shooting and the distance from which she shoots threes gets a lot of the attention. Oh, her passing's it's special. It is
It's
really
pretty.
special. Yeah.
Like as a person that like I'm watching basketball and I'm seeing fouls get called, I'm like I don't know what happened. I don't know why that was a foul. Or I'm hearing people yell that should have been a foul. No, no clue what they're talking about. But like the passes, the precision passes that I see coming from her make my jaw drop. Just like how did she fit that through so many people?
Yeah. Well, and then I mean, halftime comes, Iowa, and the games end up being tied at 45, and then coming right out of halftime, Caitlin came out with guns a blazing, and I think
She hit some threes.
hit like maybe six. I don't know if she hit six necessarily. I think she hit like 6 or 7 in the second half, but yeah, she started pulling up basically from the logo, like even beyond the logo, and oh, it was fun. It was just one of those where I couldn't stop laughing just because you knew what was going on. And then I sent you a screenshot before we started recording of after I think it was like her 8th 3, Haley Van Lith, Louisville's guard, who was
That transfer to LSU.
Yeah, the transfer to LSU that somehow got stuck guarding Caitlin the whole game, which I don't know why Kim Mulkey, LSU's head coach, didn't make any adjustments on that front. But all she could do was just turn around and shrug after like, Caitlin drained one of the long threes because, like, what can you do?
Right. She was unguardable.
I know. And yeah, she finished with 41 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds.
9 threes.
Yeah, not a bad day at the old office. And Angela Reese fouls out. Everybody in the crowd and Gabby Marshall give a little wave to her.
Yep, that was loud.
Yeah, which I'm gonna say this first too, and I think maybe I said this last week. I have no problem with what Angel did against, I think it was Middle Tennessee, where was she waving to the girl who got fouled out? It's like, heck yeah, it's gamesmanship. I do it 100%.
Yep. I 100%. Like I had no problem. I had no problem with her doing it against Iowa last year. Really.
The only problem I did have is that like toward the end of the game where she kept following Caitlin around on the floor. That was the only part. That was the only part I didn't like.
Like when she did it the first time, I was fine. You're right. Yeah. When it became like a little kid following somebody just trying to annoy them, like.
Yeah, and then just keep pointing, doing the whole ring finger thing. Again, that part's the only part that I didn't care much for.
Yeah, but I have no problem with people being cocky every once in a while. Like it's part of the sports. But you're right. There's a fine line.
Yeah. Well, and it's also part of if you dish it like what Angel has done, you better be able to take it.
Yeah.
And for the most part, she did. Her press conference, she kind of tried to play victim a little bit.
That was weird.
But now I will say the only part that I could maybe agree with on here is you see a bunch of, especially college kids, they all get these death threats from people just hiding behind screens. Like, why?
I saw, I think it's Fox Sports FS1, Nick Wright.
Yeah. Yep.
He was talking about that, and because like, what people need to do, especially athletes and especially teenagers, kids, anybody, log off. Take time away. Don't read the comments. That is the most disgusting place on the internet. People get on there there's no consequences to their words, and these are things that they wouldn't say to you face to face.
Nope.
Like there needs just log off, stay away from it. It's best for everybody's mental health.
Which, I mean, it is easier said than done because especially now in this day and age of technology, everybody's addicted to their phones. I mean, especially where you have a person like Angel who, I mean, social media is she's a social media darling in a sense. I mean, it can be portrayed as a villain too, but that's where she makes all of her views and money is on social media and stuff. So, but yeah, that was, man, what a game. So now I was going back to the Final Four, and they get to play UConn.
Which, they're playing UConn, and there really hasn't been any controversy between Iowa and UConn until like now they're trying to force some.
Oh, with the whole Caitlin didn't get an offer there.
Yeah, like that's where she wanted to go.
Yeah.
And she didn't get any offers.
Yeah. But now I was reading something that UConn head coach Gino Ariema, arguably the greatest women's head coach of all time, I would say, could be in the top 3 of just college coaches of all time. He did say that they already had Paige Beckers like lined up and recruited, so they really didn't
have a need.
Caitlin, yeah, because you don't want 2 ball dominant players on your team.
Right.
Now if they
look at LSU. Yeah.
One quick thing about Haley Van Lith. Yeah, that's a definite case of the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Because she went from
Yeah.
being probably a top 7 WNBA draft pick to she'll probably be lucky if she gets drafted in the first 2 rounds. I would say.
Does she have any more eligibility?
I don't know with the whole COVID
COVID
stuff
year.
the COVID year. I honestly don't know. I don't know who still has eligibility and who's like heck. Cody, you and I could both have eligibility still, and I know you didn't even go to school. So
I did too. I just dropped out.
yeah, that's what I mean. That's more what I mean. Um, or I mean finish school. Sorry, I should.
I did not finish school. I'm
I should
a
have worded it better. I apologize.
college dropout right here.
That's all right. You're still my friend.
Yeah.
That might not be,
I'm gonna put
that might not be a good consolation prize. I'm sorry.
put that on my wall right next to my non-diploma, like
Yeah.
Andy McConnell's friend.
Yeah, I got one. That's good. I got
I
one.
got
friend.
it.
That's good. And
Heck
it's not
yes.
imaginary this time. That's good.
Or am
but-
I?
Ooh, you're a ghost?
No, imaginary and ghosts are not the same thing necessarily.
Oh, that's true. What were we talking about? I lost my point now. We're talking. Okay. Oh, I remember.
Grass isn't always greener.
Yeah, and I mean, personally, what I would hope is that because I don't think her and Kim Mulkey got along anyway, which is kind of surprising. Because any little thing that she did wrong, like even like she threw the ball away once and she got put on the bench, on Monday night, or which I guess was last night. But I would love if she transferred to Iowa because if with Caitlin gone, I was gonna need a ball handler.
Yep.
It's either get Haley or there's a girl from Virginia Tech who entered the transfer portal because her head coach left. Her name is Georgia Amore. She might follow him to Kentucky.
Okay.
Her old coach, but she is a very good ball handler, and she's probably the second best shooter in the country. I would say behind Caitlin. Just
Okay.
my personal opinion. But like if I would somehow land one of those two, but that's next year. We're talking about this year, and more than likely how they're going to probably get matched up against South Carolina for the Natty. If they can just beat UConn.
That's a big if. I mean, UConn, you said one of the top coaches of all time in women's basketball.
Yeah. The only good news is for Iowa is that UConn only has like eight healthy players.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have like four people who are hurt, and who will not be back. So it's like if they can just get into a running match, and that's kind of what they did against LSU. It's just tired the opposition down. And then, bada bing, bada boom, you have a rematch with South Carolina lined up.
That'd be sweet. I mean, that's also saying that South Carolina wins. Who do they play?
NC State, who's on their not quite of a Cinderella run as their male counterparts, but I mean they're a 3 seed that made it all the way. It is kind of crazy though. I don't think if you would ask anybody or any basketball fan 5, heck, even 10 years ago, that what would be more popular, the men's tournament or the women's tournament? I don't think anybody would ever say the women's tournament.
No.
And I mean that respectfully as as I can. It's just the way the women's tournament has taken off. I mean, how many big stars that they have compared to the men's tournament. It's like a 9-day difference. It's insane.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes next year without the Caitlin Clark effect, because I think you've got some people that are going to be sticking around for a while to stay and watch to see what happens without Caitlin. But there will be some loss.
Yeah, and that's honestly always just been my biggest question mark is not only like does she bring more fans to the WNBA, like can sit over a long period of time, which she could, but then does the women's game keep it or at the college level? Do they sustain this? And that's the only thing I don't know if they will.
It'd be very difficult.
Like at least to this level. But I will say though, and speaking of the men's tournament, you got a very I don't know if interesting is the right word, but you got a lot of variety in this Final Four. You have UConn, who's the undisputed defending national champs, who just beat the brakes off of Illinois. They went on a 30-0 run, which in basketball is that's a lot.
That's a wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were up like 5. They were up 28-23, and the next thing you know, they're up 30. That's
That's
pretty good.
crazy.
Which I will say the NCAA is very happy. I think that UConn won because Illinois has a young man by the name of Terrence Shannon Jr. who is their best player. He's been averaging like 30, 35 points this tournament, including with the Big Ten tournament. Well, he just started playing basketball this year in January because he might or might not be charged with rape.
Oh,
Yeah, where somehow, some way, and this is full on charged, his trial got delayed magically until May.
oh,
Yeah, and it's not one of
wow.
those like he's being accused. Yeah, he should be enjoying his last days as a free man.
For a while, yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
they're probably, and I mean Illinois has some shady characters anyway on their team, so it's a good thing Illinois is gone. And then they're going to play Alabama. Somehow they're becoming a basketball school. I don't get it. They have led. They're under the coach, or they're led by Coach Nate Oates, and their system is they're just going to run, gun, and just chuck up shots. And even when they're
All right.
up 20 or down 20, they're just going to run. It's a very fun style of basketball to watch, but that's how the game's never over one way or another with them.
When it works, it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the bracket, you have Purdue, who's the other 1 seed remaining, and 7'4" monster Zach Edey. I do not like that man. He's just tall. He gets away with a lot. I hate Purdue. I hope they lose.
Yeah.
That's,
They're playing NC State, right?
that would be correct. The number 11 seed
Number
NC State
who
Wolfpack.
who that's a story that I think is pretty cool because they had to take a buzzer beater to send it into overtime in their their conference championship game?
Conference semifinal game against
Conference.
against Virginia. Yeah.
Okay.
Banked in a buzzer beater 3 to send it into overtime against Virginia. Beat Virginia, then beat North Carolina in the ACC title game to get into the dance. Because if they didn't win that game, their record wasn't good enough. They weren't going to make it into the Big Tournament.
Okay, and they had a play-in game, right?
No. If
Oh,
you
they did not?
automatically
Okay.
Win, nope. If you win your conference, you're
Okay.
absolved
Automatically.
from the playing game. But then, yeah, they've been on a little Cinderfella type run, and it's been kind of awesome to see.
Did you say Cinderfella?
I did.
All right, I didn't catch it. Don't worry. Nobody will hear it. Me pointing it out will not make it obvious.
Good. Yeah. Add a new word to the vocabulary. Are you proud?
I mean, you know what? It works because it's the men's tournament.
That's exactly why I said it.
I don't like it. I'm gonna make fun of it.
Okay, that's all right. You can keep making fun of it. And the fact though that they beat Duke, I think makes all of America happy because nobody likes Duke, at least in men's basketball. They're they're the villains. But
The Blue Devils.
yes, you'd be correct. But NC State's led by a pair of DJs. One is DJ Horn. He was a transfer from Illinois State. Like I thought I recognized that name when they were playing even in the conference tournament. It's like, oh yeah, he's played against you and I before. So I did recognize that name. But they're led by DJ Burns Jr. This I think 6'7". I can't remember how much he weighs, but a big guy inside who can handle the ball, and his passing it's not quite Caitlin Clark-esque, but it's fun. It's fun to watch a big guy pass the ball efficiently.
Like he's a stocky guy.
He's I don't know how much he weighs. I think he weighs like 270 maybe. He's a big boy. He's a big boy inside. It could be more than that. But seeing him against Edey will be fun on Saturday night because Edey normally can just push his way around everybody because nobody's either A, tall enough, or B, stocky enough to be able to hold their ground, and he's not going to be able to push Burns out of the way. So hopefully NC State wins. That's the only team I like left.
That would be cool just to see an 11 seed in the championship.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever happened. I think the lowest that's ever happened is a 9. I want to say.
Okay.
I think Kentucky was a 9.
Did they win it or did they?
No, they got beat actually by UConn, who was a 8, I believe.
Okay, I was thinking that the lowest that had ever won the tournament was an 8, but
yeah, and that I believe is UConn and I can't remember what year that was. But then also Villanova in 1985, I want to say. They were an 8 seed as well.
Remember
But
it well.
yeah, I know. You were not even in diapers yet at that point. But
I was not born yet. Nope.
yep. But it is cool. This is the first time NC State's been in the Final Four since 1983. Since they were led by the late Jim Valvano. They did a little 30 for 30 on it called Survive and Advance. It's a very fun, very, very good little documentary. I highly recommend to watch it. But yeah, so that is March Madness in a nutshell.
Mad. When are the Final Four games?
So the women's games will be Friday and Sunday. The first game for the women's tips off at, I want to say it's 6. And then that is the South Carolina NC State game, and then the Iowa UConn game is like after 8 o'clock.
Oh, so the Final Four games are Friday and the championship games are Sunday?
Yeah, for the women.
Holy cow, that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah. And then for the men, the Final Four is Saturday, and I think Purdue NC State's the first game, and that's shortly after 5 o'clock. And then like 7:30, 7:45 will be UConn and Alabama. And then the national title game doesn't start till 8:20 Central Time on Monday night.
Wow.
Which I still don't know why they do that, because that's like not till 9. That's 9:15 on the East Coast.
Right.
So yeah,
I mean, I'm
stupid.
I'll probably keep them on in the background. If I was in it, I'm going to be watching. But
on Sunday? Yeah. Well, yeah. See, at least, or Sunday, at least, that game would start at 2 o'clock. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay.
The women's tournament, 2 o'clock Central Time. So and that would be on ABC. So that's at least one good thing, is that they'll be at least smack dab during the middle of the day. But yeah, why the men's tournament starts so late on Monday, do not know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's March Madness in a nutshell right there.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you got on the docket?
What is
on the mind of Cody?
First of all, it is spring is coming, right?
Yeah, it is.
I'm pretty sure. It doesn't look like it out tonight. It snowed again today. But with spring coming, I got a friend of mine who has a pest control, G.O.A.T pest control. Call him for all your pest removal needs. He deals with, actually, he has got pretty good little business going. I've been watching him for a while, and I know he does a lot of insect removal for or spraying for like G.O.A.T cabins, which if you ever get a chance to look at those are really cool. But he also sprays for insects and treats for mice and rats, so he can keep the head coach of LSU out of your house. That'll be nice. He has monthly and quarterly services, and he also does inspections for insects, for like wood eating, like termites and stuff. So call for an estimate at call Cass. Tell him Cody and Andy sent you. 563-419-3251.
Nice.
I'll get better at that too, Cass.
So, does his business have a name then, did you say?
G.O.A.T Pest Control.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay.
He probably will almost 100% be coming out to your business wearing a Hawkeye hat. Just so, I know that he told me a story once of somebody would not let him spray. He drove quite a ways, and they did not let him spray because he had an Iowa hat on, and they were an Iowa State home. But I think he stuck to it. He's, you know what? I don't need that business.
I respect that. I really do. I really do respect
I do too. I love it.
It's sports, man. I mean, we have to hold grudges.
I mean, I cannot tell you how excited I was. I went through coffee shop in Decorah today to get my daughter a lemonade. And the girl waiting on us opened the window. And there she is, decked out, Dolphins hat, Dolphins sweatshirt. She's like, "Oh my god!" Because obviously I'm wearing a Dolphins sweatshirt, Dolphins hat. I mean,
Wait,
I
you wear
never see
Dolphin
Dolphins
stuff?
fans. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Wow.
I mean, that's what sports has. It's an instant conversation starter.
It is. Well, I
I don't
mean,
like people holding it against you like that. That's something different to me. Like when they like, oh, I'm not gonna let you do my business because you're a team, or you're a fan of an opposing fan. Who gives it? Some of my favorite relationships are with people I'm talking smack to.
exactly.
That's where the fun is. Like, actually, most of the time, Dolphins fans piss me off more than anybody else.
Yeah, some Packer fans can kind of get on my nerves a little bit. Not quite
Right.
as bad as Vikings fans, but we're still. But they're a special kind of special there.
That's true. You've been
Um,
choking for 50 years. You'd be
Purple too.
special too.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, 'cause obviously, I have fun whenever I see anybody in NASCAR gear, any little NASCAR gear, and it's like, it's just, yeah, it's an instant conversation starter.
Exactly. I'll start conversations with it. Like, I remember NASCAR when it was good.
I'm ignoring that comment. I mean, back in its heyday, you can say it's still good, Cody. It's still good.
We'll go with that, I guess.
Okay, okay. Um, Now, Cody, we're gonna really touch on this next week, but do you know it's 9 days till Augusta?
What's Augusta?
It's the Masters.
I cannot wait.
You got to say it in a nice, quiet voice and everything.
I don't. I don't have the master's voice. Like, I think I like to talk too loud, too much, whatever.
That's true.
I get too excited. I believe
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'd probably yell out a profanity and ruin somebody's backswing, get kicked off.
Ah. Yeah, actually, yeah, no, because they're very strict on rules.
At Augusta, they're really bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Can't
go
take a
over
cell
these.
phone.
No, no cell phone, no running. Um,
Well, that's good for me. I don't like to run anyway.
yeah,
They don't have to write that one down for me.
you can walk at a brisk pace. For it now, they have announcer rules too, where you have to refer to the fans as patrons. There's no
That's
such
crazy.
thing as a rough. It has to be a first and second cut. Like if you hit, like depending on how far you hit it in. Um, there's some special rules there, but I mean, the no cell phones rule actually is a pretty cool
I
rule.
love that.
In all
And
honesty,
how great is it that people just escape it for a few days or hour? We need to. Like, I'm trying to
exactly.
push myself to, like, when I get home from work, leave my cell phone somewhere and not touch it, because spend time with your wife, family, kids, anybody. Just spend time away from it.
Yeah, I'm too ingrained in sports news. I need it.
I hear you. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's
Um.
stupid.
Yeah. But now I will say though, for any of you wondering, well, how in the heck can you take pictures? There's things called what are they called? Cameras, like Kodak
Oh, I've
cameras
heard
and
of
stuff.
those.
Yeah. 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 You can use those, to take pictures if you wish. But I mean, and heck, you can make friendships there without. I mean, you actually have to talk to people, which is
Oh, that'd be
hard for me to do.
difficult.
But you can actually talk to people.
How do you feel about people? I don't know, like you're at sporting events and people are taking all their time taking pictures and stuff. Like, how are you feel about that?
Like even during the game and stuff. Like
Yeah,
you'll see like even during big moment. I don't like it. Like
I don't either.
there's this iconic. I don't even. Oh, I won't say iconic. But there's always this cool picture of. I can't remember where Tiger was golfing at, but maybe in like the PGA Championship or something like that. But where like you have 99% of the fans in his gallery are all holding their phones, taking a shot or taking a video of him, and then there's just this one guy right in the middle that's just watching, no phone, and he just has a beer in hand, and it's like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, that guy's freaking awesome.
It it's sad and like, yeah, okay, you can relive it and watch it on thing, but you didn't actually watch it. You watched it through a camera. You watched it through a TV.
Exactly. Because
Take the moment. You're gonna remember. You're gonna remember that. It's gonna be ingrained in you forever. I mean,
yep.
I still remember I watched the Miami Miracle on TV, and that's ingrained in me. If I saw it live, you know how ingrained in, like, how stuck on that play I would be.
I know. Well, it's like when Ash and I went to the Packers Chargers game in November last year. The only time I had my phone out was during like timeouts and stuff, like during commercials and stuff, because
Yep.
you're just kind of checking on okay what's going on else around the National Football League and other stuff like that. And I think I maybe took 2 pictures actually on game day, like once we got to our seats, just of like one where we were at, and maybe if I just saw something cool. But other than that, like actually during the game and stuff, no, you're watching stuff with your own eyes, like because that's how you
Yeah,
see stuff, especially on a football field. That's how you see stuff develop.
yeah. You learn so much more. It's just so much more better. Even golfing, like I went on that golf trip last week, and
Mm-hmm.
it's sad how many people are like, I don't take my phone. I take my phone. It's in my pocket,
Yeah,
but I do not check it the whole time I'm on the golf course, unless there's something important. But
yeah.
for the most
I'm
part, like, it is in my pocket, and it's sad how many people, like, you're driving in the car, they're just texting, twittering. I don't know what they're
Yep.
doing. It's just like, dude, get off of it. Let's
I
enjoy
know.
this time outside away from technology.
Like when I'm golfing, the only time that I have my phone, like that I'm using my phone, are for 2 things. One, I like obviously you gotta play music. I like to
Mm-hmm.
have just a little bit of music going, and then I have a scorecard app on my phone, so I'll use that. And then like I'll check my phone if we're like backed up or if we're gonna let somebody go on by. I'll just kind of
Yeah.
maybe just glance at it, just if like because usually like I like to golf on like Sunday mornings, so like if like the F1 race is going on, I'll just kind of just quickly glance at it just to see. Okay, is Max still winning? Okay, cool, he still
Yep.
is. Okay, we're
Oh,
good then.
he's only up by 4 seconds right now. That
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's just like no. I mean, because and then all the fun conversations you get to have with your buddies, like
Yeah,
all the not safe for well podcasting or other conversations. It's just like it's just fun. We're just all
it
making fun of
is.
each other.
That's that's where I live, man. That's I need to get better at it too. I'm not saying that I'm great at it, but like, it's just great to be away from
Mhm.
technology for a little bit as
Yep.
we podcast. But
Yeah. Well, and again, it allows you to truly focus on the important things.
and
It,
like,
it really does.
it's crazy how once in a while I get caught up in my phone or something, reading an article, whatever, and it's like, how much of do I miss from my kid? Just how many times did he look up at me or she look up at me while I was reading that, trying to get my attention? So it's
Mm.
become a real big, I don't know, like, to do in my life is to try to get off of it more and be in the moment.
I like it. I like that. And I don't know. Who knows? Maybe whenever I get to that day where I have kids, then I'll kind of more be like you in that regard and
I don't
trying
know.
to.
I don't know if that's. Remember that, folks. Andy just said he wants to be like me.
What have I done?
Never
Oh
grow
boy,
up, though, man. Just never grow up.
I know. Um, hey Cody, and speaking of up, you know who's up right now? My Dallas Stars. We're on a little bit of a heater.
Nice,
We won 7 in a
nice.
row on top of the Western Conference. Where are your Panthers at?
Second and last I looked in the. I think that was earlier today. Oh, but they
Maybe.
lost again today.
Oh,
They are
nice.
in the playoffs.
Playoffs. Yeah, we were
They
talking about
they.
playoffs. Yeah, Stanley Cup playoffs begin in two
It is
weeks.
that time.
Um, yeah, your Panthers are actually fourth out east right now.
Oh
Just
wow,
for
they fell hard today then, because I think they were second when I looked at it earlier today, but they did lose today.
yeah, and your reward, if it keeps going like how it's going, you're going to play the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round. That'll be fun because Toronto. Hey, actually, that might actually
Oh,
work out
okay,
good
no,
for. Hey, that'll work out good for Florida because Toronto has not won a playoff series. I want to say since shortly after I was born. It's been a long time.
I was looking at division stands, but
Yeah,
you're, yeah.
yeah, but because yeah, the NHL playoff seedings are weird. They don't actually just rank them 1 through 8. Don't ask me why, but
Why?
I said don't ask me why. I don't know because
I know.
Gary Bettman's the second worst commissioner in all of sports. I just yeah, second worst. It's
Who's the worst?
Rob Manfred, Major League Baseball's commissioner. That one's far and away. He's the worst. It's good news. He only is in office for 5 more years, so then he'll be gone. Um, hey, now Cody, I do have we have a listener question, and I kind of want to just shift back to kind of to basketball, but we can kind of go with all sports here. And this listener question, because I think I forgot to. Actually, I don't even know if we had any questions last week, but I forgot to give a shout out to Lick Tag Lawn Care, which we were kind of leaning toward having to mow lawns and all your lawn care needs. But now it's snowing again.
They do snow removal.
That is true. That is true as well. But from our from our buddy and recent father, Christian Shina, Christian wants to know: is Caitlin Clark the GOAT of women's college basketball?
I say 100% yes. Like, because I don't like championships are what you're all going for, but that does not to me mean that you're the greatest. That does mean you're part of the greatest team, but it does not mean that you're the greatest individual.
So
I think individually, I think she is the greatest player. I think she's the greatest player in college basketball, men and women.
Okay. Now I gotta ask. So, what is your official definition of the GOAT? Like when they say greatest athlete of all time, or greatest of all time,
Greatest of all time.
How do you define that?
I don't think there is a simple definition though. Like, I think it's who means the most to that position or sport of all time.
Okay.
More than anything.
I like that.
Because she has changed she has made women's her and her team. I'm not saying I don't want to just single her out and say sometimes we put all of it on her and she's part of a team and she's got some great talent around her. Great coach, but Caitlin Clark is the show and she has changed women's basketball for the better 100%.
Now, can I interrupt just for a second? What I would say, too bad. What I would say is I wouldn't necessarily, I might get killed in the state of Iowa for saying this. I don't think I would classify her as the GOAT. I would consider her as the biggest transcendent athlete in women's basketball history. She might not be the greatest, but she grew the sport and took it to levels that has never been seen, and she's done stuff that's never been seen on a basketball court by a woman at all.
But she's done that men haven't done.
That's true.
Too. But so are you saying that who is your GOAT then?
I don't know. I think I would probably go somewhere in the any. There's a big three from UConn. It's either Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, or Brianna Stewart. And Stewart won 4 titles when she was there, all in a row. That's pretty good.
But I'm guessing one of the other 2 members was there every time she did it.
No. Those 2 were gone. No, and they won over 100 games in a row. But now I will say the women's game wasn't what it is now. I don't know. I don't know why I asked you this question because I don't even have an answer for it. But I don't know. I wouldn't quite say Caitlin's the greatest yet. But the fact that she did play at Iowa compared to all these other schools, I mean, look at the team that she just beat. It's a superstar team.
Yeah.
Full of transfers up the freaking wazoo. And then she's beating it with a bunch of homegrown talent. So, for example, your GOAT in football would be who?
I mean, Jerry Rice has always been kind of the person I think of as the GOAT of football. Just because, yes, Tom Brady is also, I think there's multiple. I don't know if there's one that just stands out to me as the
GOAT, yeah.
Yeah. In football.
Yeah. Well,
basketball has one. To me, it's MJ.
That's a non.
It is MJ.
It is MJ. For all you LeBron lovers out there, it is MJ. But I will say, back to your thing with Jerry Rice, yeah, he put up big numbers, not just with the Niners. He put up
longevity
numbers with the Raiders and with the Seahawks. Many people forget he played for Seattle, but he went to the Super Bowl with the Raiders, caught a touchdown with the Raiders. I think he went even when he was with Seattle too. It's my gosh. And his records, all of his receiving records, career-wise, they're not even in the ballpark of being touched.
No.
It's insane.
And she had such longevity. And the thing about him was he wasn't he didn't have the size. He didn't have the speed. Like he wasn't the biggest, fastest, strongest. He just outworked. And I think that's one of the things with Caitlin Clark is she outworks everybody. The stuff that you don't see that she does, like behind the scenes, is what makes her special.
Well, and so the crazy thing, like, and this is with Caitlin, she goes to Iowa, not necessarily stars where they're getting 4 or 5 star recruits up, like, unlike every other school. And, like, with Jerry Rice, he went to Mississippi Valley State, at the time, a 1AA school. Yeah, they're not getting, that's not like we're seeing with, like, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson both coming from LSU.
Right.
They're just stacked with stars upon stars upon stars. It's like, no, these guys were playing at these small schools, and it's most of the time the guys playing at the smaller schools who are always playing with that chip on their shoulder. They're the ones that they just know what greatness is.
Look at Randy Moss came from Marshall. I mean,
yep.
A lot of, and like even Calvin Johnson, he didn't go to a big name. I mean, Georgia Tech was not a.
They were not passing.
They were not a passing.
No, they were an option school that somehow have two of the greatest wide receivers of probably the last 15 years. I would say.
Yeah.
15, 16 years with him and the late Demaryius Thomas. So.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you see one of my favorite Dolphins of all time? Like, I shouldn't say favorite, but like he was one of my favorite to watch. Vontae Davis passed away this last weekend.
Yeah, young age of
35.
Yeah, and I mean
he had some Hard Knocks moment. He got cut by the Dolphins. It was one of the funniest moments on Hard Knocks ever.
How so?
He went in. They called him into the office and he got cut. And his first thing was, "I'm gonna call my grandma." Like, well, let's finish the interview here. I want to call my grandma. Like, just he was a funny guy. And he retired at halftime.
Yeah, retired at halftime. He was playing for the. Was he playing for the Colts?
Bills.
Right. Oh, he was playing for the Bills.
Yeah.
Was it against the Colts or something like?
I know he got traded to the
Colts. Yeah.
He went from the Dolphins to the Colts, and then I think he went to the Bills.
Yeah.
And he quit at halftime.
Yeah, just retired at halftime. I mean, if you're gonna go, I guess if you're gonna retire, that's a good way just to go on your own terms like that.
Yeah. He is the brother of Vernon Davis.
Yeah.
Legendary tight end.
I'm going to be honest. I did not know that until after he passed. Did not know that.
I knew that just because of his Dolphins days,
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. But yeah. So,
he was actually a part of a tandem that was really good for Miami. Him and Sean Smith were drafted first and second round that year, and they were a good tandem for a few years.
I remember Sean Smith.
He was tall.
Yeah, so RIP to Vontae Davis.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's our little football talk for the day because there's not
a lot on football. I can talk about some Wrexham football.
Oh,
everybody loves the Wrexham set. I know that they had a 1-0 loss today after they had a really big win on actually Friday of last week. They beat the number one team in their league, and then they lost this. I think was it 2-0. Yeah, but they're still firmly in third place on their table. Top 3 get an automatic bid into League One. 4th through 7th have to play for the 4th place spot, basically, in a 4th, through 7th. And I think there's 4 or 5 games left in the season, so it's getting down to crunch time.
Okay, nice. And yeah, I've never understood the soccer season because it feels like it's just year round, and
I know
some aspects. But hey, I know I think I say this every episode. I'm proud of you for your soccer terminology using.
I've been working on it. Yep. I'm hoping for a promotion from them. I really am. They are playing a game in June, July against Chelsea United in the United States.
Oh yeah, friendly,
Too bad it's
I think is what it is. Yeah.
yeah. Too bad it's in California, the cesspool of the United States. I'm
Oh,
not
you're
a big
not.
California fan.
Oh no, I know. Okay, sorry. I was thinking the World Cup's going to be at MetLife. That's
Yeah,
what I was thinking. Okay, because I was thinking, wait, I thought they were going to be playing at MetLife, but no. Okay, no, they're just playing out in Cali.
I mean, I believe, and that's a very big game for them. I mean, like, it's not because it's a friendly, but like Chelsea United is a Premier League team. They're kind of middle of
Yeah,
their table this year, I believe.
yeah, but they're normally top notch.
Yeah, they're on a down year right now, and
Yeah,
they're three. So it's league. They're in League Two, League One, Championship League, Premier League. So they're playing up three leagues.
I gotcha.
That'll be interesting. I
Did you finally
do.
finish Ted Lasso? By the
I
way.
did. Fantastic
Okay.
show. I do find it strange that they don't have like championship games. It's just kind
Yeah,
of
it's
this.
just it's the end. It's like
Yeah,
that's the season.
they had the points, so they win. Like,
Yeah, and then there's a tiebreaker that goes on for aggregate, which is like away goals
yeah.
first, and then it's. Can you imagine if the NFL did something like that?
Oh my
Like that's how they
goodness.
reward the Super Bowl.
Right. Like, I like I said, I've told you many times. I think now I love the like idea of relegation and promotion because it
Yep.
gives those late season games meaning, but it also gives like the top of the league. If the top team is their games might be meaningless at the end of the season.
Exactly.
So it's just a strange concept to me, I guess.
Um. So I do have one other football thing to talk about. I'm just curious if you watched any. Did you watch any of the UFL over the weekend? The new one.
I saw some clips. I think it was on Pat McAfee just talking about a kicker that hadn't kicked since high school, and then he kicked two like 60 some yarders. Other
Yeah.
than that, no, I did not watch any of it.
Okay. I watched. What day was it? Was it Sunday? It might have been Sunday. I watched a little bit of. I think it was San Antonio, the San Antonio Brahmas. I can't remember who they were playing, but I do love though, or they did actually use some new technology in there, which I'm pretty sure the NFL might copy soon. Where I don't know if they put a sensor in the ball, but they could basically tell like how if the ball was close to a first down, whether they got it or not.
Oh,
Like
nice.
instead of using the old chain game.
Which is dated. It needs to. It needs
Yeah.
to be.
Well, and then
It's time. Like, there shouldn't be that much human error in football anymore.
no, not even close. And then they also had it where all the refs' conversations were mic'd up, which I
Oh,
think all sports need to do that
heck yeah.
because we need to know what the heck they're talking about. I don't. It just it's more transparency instead of thinking okay, especially in this day and age of sports betting of hey stuff might be rigged.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then trying to think if the only part that I mean I'm indifferent on it doesn't they can do it if they want to like even if the NFL wants to steal this is where you can hear the coordinators calling the plays in.
Okay.
It's like that's I'm indifferent on that. But
Yeah. I don't really care about that.
yeah,
Um,
but
I actually have non-football news that I wanted to share. It's Cody's corner time here. My wrestling news. Iowa's wrestling facility is pretty close to being complete. They got the mats down in it. They have a new state of the art, humongous addition to their weight room or to their wrestling room. New facilities. It's going to be great. Really excited to see that. Hopefully that brings in some recruits so they can compete with Penn State. Then I've seen a
nice.
couple Iowa guys did get in the transfer portal. Guys that weren't really gonna sniff the starting lineup, which more power to them. I like that. I want to see people have the opportunity to succeed, and
Yeah,
it wasn't going to be at Iowa, so
yeah.
hopefully they
So
can run with it and do well.
so at this new wrestling facility, are they going to hang any of their 2023 NCAA championship banners there? You know, like what Iowa State and you and I have.
No.
Oh, okay. Just thought I'd ask.
Iowa has so many more trophies to hang than those two.
I don't care. I like talking about recent here.
We can. I mean, I'm actually a fan of all those guys, so like it doesn't affect me.
I know. I just thought I'd ask. Just thought I just wanted to get your reaction. Oh, can I go on just a little tangent here? How much? Because how I know how much you like to get me worked up, or how at times.
I would never. Yes,
Yeah.
go.
So, I had a dentist appointment over the weekend, or not over the weekend, on Monday, and I was wearing my Seattle Sonics sweatshirt. And the dentist at for he asked if I was a Sonics fan, and he asked if I thought they were going to come back. I told him yeah, and he said, because first he asked if I followed them to OKC when they became Thunder fans. I said, or became the Oklahoma City Thunder. He said, heck no. So then he just asked if they were going to come back, or if I thought they were going to come back, and if they were going to be able to keep the same team name. And I thought probably. So then fast forward to yesterday afternoon, I'm talking to Ashton, who I don't think listens to the podcast. Maybe he does.
Ashton.
I know. So him and I was telling him this quick little story, and then he's saying, well, even if they do come back, maybe they won't be the same team, or even if they get the same name, they might not have the same logo and same colors and everything, which really ticked me off because there's no. I'm a big traditionalist. I don't like all the funky new, like, where people are like, you see these NBA teams who have like 8 different uniforms that they wear like once every month. I do not like it. Or it's like where Ashton is a Knicks fan and they're playing the other night at home, and the Knicks usually I love their logo that they usually put at midcourt. I know it's an iconic logo, and instead of having the logo at midcourt, they had it spelt out New York, like just being the Knicks. It would be like if the Packers were playing in Lambeau, and instead of having the big G at midfield, it just spelt out Packers. It would look awful. I don't know why we have to change stuff. I even saw an April Fool's joke saying that the Packers were going to change uniforms from their iconic green and gold to, I don't know, they were just going to start messing around with stuff. And it's like, why? Why fix it if it ain't broke? I don't get it.
Interesting. So like, I mean, I get it. Like I like traditional. I like clean too. Like I don't like all kinds of different stuff. But at the same time, like Oregon, some of their stuff is nasty, but sometimes they got some clean looking uniforms, and I like that a lot.
Yeah. I don't know, but that's kind of their thing. That's the only thing I will say. That's kind of their thing. But then you see every other team that's just trying to change up everything. Like, it's like when I'm watching, especially a lot of these NBA games, I'm watching like the Knicks, and they're wearing they're wearing either black or their blue jerseys at home. When, like, basketball wise, white's usually the home color, and it's just like, and I don't know, teams are wearing like wacky color. Like, I don't know. I'm a big traditionalist. That's all. That's
okay. How do you feel about, like most of the time, most teams wear their dark colors at home in the NFL?
Yep.
But not Miami. Miami almost always goes white at home.
Miami and Dallas. They're about the only two.
How do you feel about those?
They're kind of grandfathered in, I would say.
Okay.
Because there was one in, like, when we were back in the Color Rush era where Green Bay wore their all whites at home. Hated it. Hated every minute of it. It's just
and for Miami, it's a strategy.
Yeah, which I understand that, but then I don't. I don't. It's like when I see Houston when they're wearing their whites at home, which makes no sense because they're playing indoors. It makes literally no sense at all. Or I've seen the Jets wear white at home. I get just keep. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why?
Well, the Jets are broke.
Yeah, they are. You're not around there. Like, the quarterback was broke last year. So it's,
I did see he got an $81 check this year for
performance check or something.
Performance check. Yep.
That's gonna be money well spent on. I don't know how much ayahuasca costs. Maybe we'll be on that.
More likely.
Yeah.
Something stupid.
Yeah. So there's my rant for the day.
Okay. Well,
I know. Again, Ashton got me really fired up. I think I went on into more detail when I was talking to you.
Oh, I'm sure you did. I should have worked on that. I should have gotten you riled up more, but it's not something I'm passionate about. So it's hard for me to. The only thing I'm passionate about on that would be getting you worked up. That's always great fun for me.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know.
Hey,
You're kind of like me getting you fired up with, I don't know, let's just say food.
you suck. I do notice that in the background of your screen,
Yeah.
I can see your unrelated cup,
Yeah.
and in the background of my screen is my unrelated cup, right over
Where?
my right there.
Ah, okay. I thought I saw. Okay. It's a little grainy on my end, so, but I can see it.
These are the Friends Lego sets, by the way, right there.
Nice. Oh, that's nice.
There.
So
You
whenever I
can't really
decide to
see
put
them.
up on you, whenever I decide to put this up on YouTube, people will be able to see this
Yes,
whenever I get to that point.
I got asked about that today too. Actually,
Oh,
see
you
if I
did?
can put it
Okay.
on. Yep. See if I can put it on
Gotta
YouTube
figure
because
out how to
that's
do
where I
it.
want to watch it. I was like,
Oh, okay. I just
well,
gotta figure out
Andy's a
how to do it
lazy
then.
bum.
No, I just sometimes it takes me a little bit to actually get to doing it. It's not full on procrastination. It's more of I just need to more just do it once and then I'm good to go.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those things. So
Ooh.
yeah, I think did we cover about every other sports topic?
The MLS
I got nothing on
has
there.
there's nothing really going on. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Without Messi, it's kind of boring.
Why is
I
he
don't know if
hurt?
he was playing. Yeah, he has been
No.
playing. I don't know where I put my phone. He hasn't
Look
been
at you.
playing.
You're working on your phone cleanse already.
Exactly. I mean, let's see.
Oh, hey, I guess we forgot to mention one thing. Um Good old Caden Proctor.
Oh yeah, let's dive into that one.
Yeah, we'll dive into that quick before we get on to the rest of the show here. So Caden Proctor, big tackle out of Iowa or from the state of Iowa, was
Southeast
going to
Polk,
come.
wasn't he?
Yes, I think didn't he initially commit to
He
Iowa
he
and
committed to
then
Iowa.
yeah,
Did a
and then
last
he
second. He
switcheroo.
switched to Alabama.
Yep.
Was an All SEC left tackle or whatever. Offensive or rookie of the year,
Freshman of the year, yeah, something like that.
freshman, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, at the end of the season, decommitted, recommitted to Iowa.
Yep.
Came
Entered the
to
transfer portal. Yep.
came to an Iowa wrestling meet or girls basketball game. I don't remember what it was.
I think basketball.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
And got interviewed, and he said something. He said something stupid there. He he basically like told them that Iowa was talking to him illegally while he was at Alabama,
Yeah.
which all
Yeah.
it was somebody told him like keep your head up. He had a couple bad games, and they told him keep your head up. And
Yeah.
technically, that's not right. I guess they're not supposed
Yeah.
to
Well,
contact.
remember the NCAA, they allow rape. It looks like with Terrence Shannon, but you cannot talk to an opposing kid. Just keep his
Right.
head up. So yeah.
Anyway, getting close to spring football game here.
Mm-hmm.
Entered the transfer portal again. So played. He got some NIL money from Iowa.
Yep.
Transferred. He will. I know that during spring break, Caden McNamara went down to where I went for my spring break, Lake of the Ozarks. Took a bunch of the team down there with him. Proctor did not go with him. He went to somewhere with a bunch of his buddies from Alabama. But that might not be where he's going back to. There's some talk of that. There's some talk of him really pissing off Iowa fans and going to another team that wears red.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's just doing a troll job too. He knows
Him,
that he's already hated here, so like because he's liked some posts from the Iowa State football team about them getting ready for football season. He's followed some members of the Iowa State football team, and I believe he followed Matt Campbell on Twitter. Yeah. welcome. He's teetering. He won't quite pass Angel Reese, but he's getting close to being public enemy number one
He's
in
yeah,
the eyes of Hawkeye fans.
he's not well received right now, and I can't blame anybody for not liking him. I mean, I know he's a young kid and does some stupid
Yeah.
stuff, but now it's just
It looks intentional.
stupid. It is.
Yeah.
It has to be.
And again, we personally don't know. Maybe there's some family stuff going on. Maybe
And
maybe there's something back in Alabama. You never know.
and I guess I have read a little bit about there might be some sexual assault allegations coming against him in Iowa City
Okay.
that might have a little bit to do with it.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
speculation, I guess, but
Yeah.
something I read, but I can't
Confirm.
confirm.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, what a
I don't wish injury on him, but I hope he does not have a good career in college.
yeah. Rule number one, and he should know this. You don't take off any of the Iowa schools. Or Iowa. It's rule number one.
Yeah.
Oh boy. It's why Colin Cowherd I think is public enemy number like 3 on Iowa fans' radar because of all the bad stuff that he said about Iowa being a fake ID football program for the longest time. Which he
I mean,
might
he's
have been
not
right,
wrong all the time, but
exactly. He might have been right, but still. Yeah, because us Iowans, we don't have any pro teams, so we love our college athletics.
we definitely do. I mean, I'm so excited for that Hawkeye wrestling club or wrestling room. It's ridiculous. And I'll never step
Hey.
foot in it.
Hey, you know what us Iowa Hawkeye football fans are excited for? We got a new punter, and there's a chance he could actually be even better than Torrey Taylor. I don't even know what his name is,
Ooh,
but they said he looks really good.
that's exciting. Punting is
I know.
winning.
Punting is winning. Cody, we need to get those shirts.
We do.
I'll look into that.
Good idea.
Watch that'll actually be. Watch, I'll get those shirts for us before we put us on YouTube.
Perfect.
Boy.
We
Yeah, no,
can we can be wearing them for our first YouTube episode.
That's what I was just thinking. I just got to look on where you get the shirts from.
I'm sure.
There's a
Yeah.
way. Where there's a will, there's a way. The internet is unstoppable at times.
It's awful.
It is. So, and speaking of awful, unless there's anything else you want to touch on at all.
I mean, we're talking about awful. We could talk about your personality, but
Anything else?
let's go into. We can go into our top 5 of the week.
Brought to you by Licktay Lawn Care. See, there we go. I got us back. So, okay, what do you got? Tell the people.
We're doing it kind of like we used to do it. This is going to be the top 5. It was suggested as most overrated movies, but I couldn't think of overrated. I went with more movies that I hate. Some of them might.
I was just gonna say, just a side note here. I'm gonna have trouble probably thinking of 5 movies, so bear with me.
Yeah, I have 5. And we're not going to do back and forth on this one because I'm going to tell mine as a story for 3 of them. The first one is not part of the story, but it was a movie that God rest his soul, my buddy Travis Hensler always wanted me to watch with him. I watched with him once. It was awful. I did not like it at all. It's the movie Waterworld. I was not a fan. Just could not get into it. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's a movie, so you're probably not. I'm going to tell you this. Don't watch it.
Okay, good.
That's one of those movies I'm going to put on my list of do not watch.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to go into the story here. Me and my friend, Scott Biederman, had just rented or got new apartments, and we were in the same complex. We had gotten them the same day. I remember I was getting one, he told me he was looking for a place. They were single person ones, and I told him where I was getting it. He went and applied, got one the same day as me. It just kind of ended up, so we decided to walk down to the movie theater in Decorah and go to the movie. And there was a movie with Vin Diesel in it called Babylon AD. That is my number 4 least favorite movie. Do not ever watch it. Awful
Okay.
movie.
Okay, good enough.
He did not like it either. So we decided, let's go back to my apartment and watch one of the movies that I owned. We decided to and see if, get that bad taste out of our mouth. This was back in the day when we stayed up till 4, 5, 6 in the morning, Could do that.
You still don't do that?
No.
Okay.
I'm up at 4, 5, 6 in the morning.
True.
We went to my place and watched Cloverfield.
Okay.
Awful. Just awful. And it's like fake, bad, like it's supposed to look like it's through a camera, like somebody's video camera. It's just like a monster coming out of the sea, or I don't remember what it was. It was just a terrible movie. He also agreed with me. Terrible movie. So we're 0 for 2 on movies that night. We decided, the bad thing is we're walking everywhere. We both have cars. Could have drove places, but we decided taking a nice long walk. Walked out to Walmart in Decorah.
Okay.
Which there was a bike trail that led there. And we went to the Red Box. And we rented a movie that looked fantastic. We're like, this has gotta be good. Not because we'd heard anything about it, but it had Brad Pitt playing Jesse James. That was the most long, boring movie I have ever seen in my life. It was the assassination of Jesse James by the coward. What was the name of the guy? I can't remember the exact. It was a long title. The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't remember what the guy that killed Jesse James' name was, but had a pretty good cast. But God, it was a boring movie. Holy crap. And then, so that was my story of those three. But that does not, they all pale in comparison to the movie that, this one to me is an overrated. Everybody in my high school, it was such a popular movie. People were quoting it. It made me want to bang my head against a wall. Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
I absolutely cannot stand that movie. So dull. So stupid. Every time I see a commercial for it still, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Yes. Okay.
Those are my top 5.
Okay. So, thank you for saying Napoleon, because I was trying to think of a 5th movie here. I'm going to go with that one as number 5. Because, I mean, I've seen it a couple times. I don't get it. I personally don't.
Not good.
No. Now, number 4, and these are partly going to be two that I just don't like. I'm going to be straight up honest. Number 1 is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. It was the second movie of their trilogy. That one just sucked. I've not watched the 3rd one yet, so the jury's still out on that one. But I love Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And the second one was a massive letdown. It was so bad. It was so bad. Did not like that at all. Number 3, I'm not a horror movie guy at all. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I cannot watch horror movies. I hated Nightmare on Elm Street. I think I watched like one of the recent ones. I can't remember. It might have been like 10 years ago or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, not a horror movie guy. Now this is where I'm probably I might get canceled maybe. So Cody, we had a fun run on our podcast. Number 2, Harry Potter. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't like any of them. I saw the first one. I think I saw half the second one, and I was just like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it anymore. You got anything? Nothing?
Avada Kedavra!
That's supposed to scare me.
I'm angry right now.
Okay, good. I did my job
But
for that.
I'm not as angry as I could be because the movies aren't my favorite. I love the books. I'm a book nerd on the Harry Potter series, but I
Okay.
do also love the movies because
Okay.
they are a representation, but they are not a good one.
Okay.
I'm very excited for the TV show to come out, and I hope that they do that justice.
The TV show.
HBO is supposed to be making an actual like remake where book 1 is season 1, book 2 is season 2, so it's supposed to be a kind of like Game of Thrones did.
Why?
I'm very
Just
excited
let
for
it
that, Tim.
die.
I
Just
hope you
let it
die.
just
Die.
let it die.
Die. You die.
Um, do you have a guess what my number one is?
I do.
What do you got?
Did
What do you
Isaac
think?
make you watch it?
Yes, he did.
See, that's
The
what I thought that was going to be your last one. That's why I had my Crayola lightsaber out here. I was going to try to
yeah.
stab you with it.
You can still try because the original trilogy, I didn't get it. That Star Wars, the original trilogy, that's numero uno.
The fact that you singled out, like, I could have understood it if you would have said like the prequels, the 1 through 3, like I could have understood that. But the fact that you singled out the original trilogy, I hope people come to your house with pitchforks. I'm gonna lead that charge. That attack
Bring it.
is who.
Oh, maybe I'll just have to use the Force here. I don't know. I don't get it. I didn't get the wow from those three movies. I just didn't.
You're wrong. One and
I'm
two,
never wrong. But
you're wrong. You are wrong so often it's ridiculous. And this is. I hope you step on a.
hold on.
I hope you step on like a Darth Maul Lego tonight.
Cody, I don't play with Legos.
I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, so that's my top five.
Well, you guys just heard the end of our series. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna start my own podcast. It's gonna
We made
be
it 20 episodes.
unrelated sports podcast minus Andy McConnell because F him and his stupid takes.
My takes are great. I thought we've already decided on this. My takes are great. See her 2 episodes ago with my awesome food takes.
This is not a Cinderfella story.
See, look at you using my word. I'm proud of you.
You sound like George W. Bush, making up words, thinking that they're right.
But I am right.
You're not.
We discussed this.
You're
I'm
not.
wrong.
No. Oh.
So, Cody, any parting words here before we?
Yeah. You.
You did a good job of censoring yourself. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I tried.
So, hey. Do you want me to give you some good news?
Yes.
We're going to be previewing the Masters at this time next week.
Cannot wait.
That puts you in a better mood?
It does.
Okay, good.
It does.
Again, just I don't know, just use the Force a little bit. It'll help you calm down.
I'm a bigger Harry Potter fan than I am Star Wars fan, but movies-wise, I do like the Star Wars movies more than the Harry Potter movies.
Potter, you can shove that imaginary wand where the sun don't shine. That's my opinion on all that. So
I hope you get one of those trophies in your background shoved up your ass. I did not censor myself there.
That's all right. I think you can say that word. I think we're good.
That's fine.
So
it's been a few episodes since I've slipped anyway.
That is true. It only took a special kind of special to be able to.
You are a special.
Yes, I am. So I guess just keep following us along on this magical journey here.
Tell your friends.
Have episodes out. Yeah, we'll have episodes out usually by either Tuesday night or Wednesday night.
Wednesday night or Thursday morning, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you never know. I might get in the mood where I just want to get posted on Tuesday night. Technology. It depends if technology wants to behave or not. The only exception
We
would
will
be
have YouTube videos up by 2028. I'm guessing, at the rate we're going.
I'm going 2030, but that's where we're going. By the time the Harry Potter series has concluded on HBO.
No.
No. You think it'll be over by then?
No. It's at least 7 seasons.
Okay.
And
I might just be canceled by then. You never know. But
they're not canceling Harry Potter. You know how, like, just the name itself brings so many people.
those poor suckers. So yeah. So I guess thank you everybody for listening. Cody, send us away.
Hey, remember, Andy has stupid takes, and fullbacks are people too.
Thank you everybody for listening. We will catch you next week.
Peace.